The Anti-Federalists were very sensible people and had many good points when it came to the formation of the Constitution and the freedom in America. Unlike Federalists, Anti-Federalists were against a constitution that promoted one strong federal government. Anti-Federalists were people who were against federalism because they believed in individual states governing themselves. Anti-Federalists were from all parts of the newly formed America. They thought the states should remain with their separate governments. They didn't want a repeat of what happened between the original colonists and Britain. They thought the power should lie in the people's hands as not as much the government. Anti-Federalist groups formed when the Constitution was still being written. Still today, there are Anti-Federalists that exist. The Anti-Federalists were a group of people who opposed to the Constitution as it was being written and warranting a central government. They believed that the government would overpower the American citizens and take over. Many well-known people were Anti-Federalists, such as Patrick Henry, Mercy Otis Warren, and George Mason. Patrick Henry's famous quote, "I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death," is a well-known and was said as a statement against federalism. As an Anti-Federalist, he was saying that he wanted Americans to be free and not controlled by one all-powerful government. He was in favor of America being its own country, but he didn't want a repeat of the king. He didn't want one person or groups of people to have lots of control over everyone. In a letter to Katharine Graham, Mercy Otis Warren said, "We have struggled for liberty and made many costly sacrifices, and there are still many among us who value liberty too much to relinquish the rights of a man for the dignity of government." She was saying, including both Federalists and Anti-Federalists worked hard for America to be a free country, and some still sided with the government and put aside the rights for people which they had just fought for. She, like many other Anti-Federalists, wanted a Bill of Rights. George Mason stated in an article written by him how he was against the ratification of the Constitution. "There is no Declaration of Rights, and the laws of the general government are being paramount to the laws and constitution of the several states. The declarations of rights in the separate states are no security." He was saying for a man to have security with the Constitution, it needed many central governments rather than one all-powerful government. Anti-Federalists made an impact because it showed people what they thought about the Constitution and the government. Events like Shays' Rebellion is well known because it was a movement led only by Anti-Federalists to show that they were angered about how people were forced to pay money and be under some rules while feeling they were not free people. Although the Anti-Federalists lost much of the argument shown by the fact that the government is still today a federal democracy, the Bill of Rights would not exist without their argument.